Hi, everyone. Sorry about that. I cannot figure out on my end how to switch the way that I have the PowerPoint set up. So it might be a little bit finicky when I switch over to that. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hello and welcome to the 2021 the Cleanie Awards award ceremony. My name is Randy Gilmore, and I'm the executive director of this incredible program. So we started in 2017 as a recognition program, welcoming 10 names into our inaugural winner circle. Now, 4 years later, we have grown 600%, and we are nearing 100 names in our winner's circle. We have established ourselves as the #1 comprehensive awards program celebrating people and brands driving the clean energy economy. In 2021, we listened to you and industry leaders and introduced new award categories and more recognition opportunities. We welcome new judges, new advisors, and brand ambassadors. We gave the public a vote with People's Choice categories, and the response was incredible. We are truly recognizing the people and brands who are working together to meet COP agreements. Over the course of the past 2 weeks, companies, corporations, and other industry leaders came together and pledged billions of dollars and millions of hours of manpower to combat the climate crisis. Now, what we really need is action. The Cleanie Awards strives to highlight the people and brands who are taking action and making an impact. To say that I'm excited about this year's winners is an understatement. They are truly paving the way toward a decarbonized future. Now, before I turn things over to our keynote speaker, Peter Kelly Detweiler, I have a very, very well-deserving people and companies I want to recognize. And bear with me here while I start to share my screen, and you might see a few things. So bear with me, please. Am I sharing the right screen? Displays. All right, I'm hoping, could somebody in chat please let me know? Okay, so you can see just the screen, you can't see everything. Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you everyone, I appreciate your patience. So with that, okay, there we go, okay. Thank you everyone for your patience. So this year we are honored to partner with Ameresco, the named sponsor of the 2021 awards ceremony. Ameresco is an established leader in the pursuit of a sustainable future, and joining forces with such a well-known and respected brand helps us reach a broader network and promote the incredible work we are doing together. Thank you, Ameresco, for your continued support. Our advisory board includes some of the biggest and most respected names in the industry. These leaders offer ongoing counsel on the short-term decisions and long-range goals of our program. We greatly value their expertise and commitment to our success. And in a little bit here, you will hear from Tom Wyrick, who is one of our presenters of the awards today. Our judging panel includes a diverse group of individuals from across the nation with expertise along the entire clean energy spectrum. These individuals are hand-selected by our team and come strongly recommended by our advisory board. The judges personally and carefully review every application to finalize winners. Our judging panel is 100% volunteer-based. Judges are exempt from reviewing potential conflicts of interest. For example, judges cannot review and score an application from their respective organizations. With competition fiercer than ever, and I truly, truly mean that, our judges had their work cut out for them this year. Now, I am very excited to welcome this year's keynote speaker, Peter Kelly Detweiler. Many of you know him as an energy expert, strategic consultant, and industry storyteller. Peter, or PKD, regularly delivers keynotes and workshops in a variety of issues, such as the evolution of the power grid and the evolving role of batteries. He frequently meets with investors and corporate leaders to offer his insights. In his latest book, published in 2021, titled The Energy Switch, takes readers to the front lines of the clean energy revolution and is told from the perspective of those taking us through this transformative decade. You can purchase The Energy Switch on Amazon, and I strongly, strongly encourage you to do so. All that said, I will turn it over to PKD to discuss driving the clean energy economy, amplifying the message amongst the converted. One thing to note is please use the chat box. I'm going to be monitoring that, and we will do a short moderated Q&A at the conclusion of the keynote. So please feel free to go ahead and post questions there. And with that, take it away, PKD.
Thank you, Randy. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here, and I laugh when I hear you say my latest book. It's my latest book, and it's my only book so far. So are we able to create participant screen sharing, or are you going to have to drive this?
Let me go ahead and give
me the con.
Yep. I can
okay.
That I'm having some tech issues today. I apologize, everyone.
It happens.
Okay. Okay. Let me know if you are able to share now.
All right. Yep. Can do.
Perfect.
Sharing desktop. Pulling up the PowerPoint. Viewing in slideshow. Okay. So in the short time, we want to be respectful of all your time. So we're going to move through this fairly quickly, but what I want to talk about is how do we drive this clean energy economy and amplify the message, especially amongst the unconverted. You see conversations in the media that this transformation to a clean energy economy globally could involve between now and 2050, so over the next 30 years, as much as over $100 trillion to push carbon out of the economy. This is the largest by far initiative humanity has collectively ever tried to accomplish. It's huge, and yet we're not really that good as an industry at communicating what this means at all different levels and why this is important not only for society, but why it's also beneficial to individuals. So let's talk about climate for a minute. We've just finished up with COP6. A lot of interesting and important commitments came out of that. Some troubling issues, the watering down of commitment to get rid of coal sooner than many would have hoped. Some commitments to reduce methane, which is 80 times more effective at trapping the sun or the heat from the sun as CO2 is. But when we talk about climate, people say, oh, what's the difference between 1.5 degrees, 2 degrees? Well, we've been fortunate enough to live in this Goldilocks climate for the last numbers of thousands of years, since the cavemen, painted on the walls in France and Lascaux in the caves, and certainly the last couple of thousand years as humanity has evolved into what we know through the Renaissance, the Middle Ages, and now the evolved economy that we live in today. We've enjoyed this not too hot, not too cold, temperate planet that we live on. Sometimes you talk to people and you say, okay, so 1.5 degrees, 2 degrees, 2.5 degrees centigrade. Why does that matter? I wake up in the morning. This morning it was freezing out. It was 32 degrees, so 0 degrees centigrade. And now it's probably 55 outside. So that's by far way bigger than anything we're talking about. So why does a couple degrees matter? Well, here's why. Take the average temperature, instead of thinking about what if it were to get hotter, let's think for a minute, what if it got colder? So I was listening to Don Wible, who was the lead scientist reporting on climate to the Trump administration. He was at a conference and he said, if you think about 6 degrees Celsius the other direction, so 11 degrees, where would we be if the temperature were that much cooler? Well, some of us would be under 1/4 of a mile of ice. We'd be sitting square in the middle of the Laurentian Ice Age. That's how much 6 degrees Celsius could mean. So if we're talking 2 or 3 degrees Celsius in the other direction, that's a pretty significant step into an uncertain world for ourselves as we get older, and certainly for our kids and our grandchildren. That's why this thing matters so much. It has the potential to destabilize the climate. It has the potential to destabilize economies and create economic migrants and very desperate individuals trying to save their families from famine, from uncertain times. The sort of thing we're starting to see on the borders of Europe and indeed here in the United States. The military calls climate change one of the most significant force multipliers. So something we have to pay attention to. And that's the thing we're running away from, we're trying to stop. But let's talk also about what's going on, how we're going to get there, and what this path looks like, so we can anticipate some of the conversations that will be coming our way, and that we can think about how we craft and take control of a narrative that others most assuredly will be trying to shape for their own purposes. We've seen that for decades already. We've seen it in other industries, whether it's tobacco and others, and that won't go away. And the path forward is certainly anything but clear right now. How we get from point A to point B, how we decarbonize our economies, whether it's hydrogen, whether it's other technologies, we're not sure. And certainly there will be some stumbles along the way. And there will also be events that occur where renewables and clean energy tech will get often misplaced blame. But clearly we're in a world that isn't Kansas anymore. Just in the last year, what did we see? We saw Hurricane Ida, we saw the Texas winter freeze, we saw the heat dome in the Pacific Northwest, where people died in their homes and temperatures were 4 or 5 degrees higher than anything we'd ever seen before. Utilities have to respond to that. We as vendors, as solutions providers, have to figure that out. And we have to make sure that we continue to position this conversation, our response to these events, in a way that point out why what we're bringing to the table, the solutions we are bringing to solve these problems, are things people want and need. And the further we get down the road towards decarbonization, the more challenging it'll probably get. It's not that difficult to integrate the first 30% renewables into the mix, and then maybe 50 or 60% if you add 4 hours of storage. But then longer term, figuring that out for the electric sector, and certainly for the industrial sectors, probably with the addition of hydrogen to decarbonize steel and cement and long-term shipping, gets a little bit more challenging. We'll get there, but those questions aren't by any means answered yet. And that battle for the control of the narrative will continue to intensify as some of these industries get to be on the short end of the stick, whether it's coal, oil, et cetera. They will desperately fight for market share and for that battle of hearts and minds. That's just a reality of the situation. So we have to think about, how do we amplify our message? How do we join together and tell the story? And one of the things that I've found as a storyteller, at least part-time in this industry, is there are a precious few of us. Think about it. How many people are there in our industry that you can point to off the top of your head and say, these are effective storytellers that are helping to tell the world what we're doing and why it matters? There's only a handful of people like that in the whole industry, and there need to be dozens and hundreds. That control of the narrative, what we say, how we say it, and to whom we say it, becomes increasingly critical. So shaping that message is really important. Here's a great one. And I would say that for some of his faults, Elon Musk is certainly a creative individual, and he has done some remarkable things in terms of positioning his tech. Yeah, some days he says, I'm out there to save the world, but most of the time he's simply saying, I'm out there to deliver a better product. And he, proof point here, 2013 Motor Trend Car of the Year, pointing to the Tesla Model S back then, saying, it's a great car, it's agile, it's eager, it moves quickly on the road. Oh, and guess what? It doesn't have an internal combustion engine. But it didn't focus on the fact that it was a carbon-free car, or could be a carbon-free car in a 100% clean grid. It focused on what that vehicle meant to the consumer, why it was simply better tech. And we need to start to really focus on those issues. Here's another one, the Ford F-150 Lightning. This vehicle, 110 kilowatt hour, 150 kilowatt hour batteries, can give you 210 or 300 miles of range. Okay, that's good. Has a frunk, so you can power your tools. All great. Here's a picture from Ford where the truck is plugged into the home, providing 3 or 5 days worth of electricity to the average home in the event of an extended outage. That's new. That's something we could be talking about. But what if we did this? What if we took that Ford F-150, hundreds of them, thousands of them, and took them to every tailgate party around the country and had the frunk with the boombox in it and the Foreman grill cooking up a storm out there, and really showing the virtues of this new tech. One thing that Jim Farley did, CEO of Ford, very recently, this was in August, he found out that the hybrid model, because the Lightning's not out there yet, The generator in that truck had saved a wedding reception when there was a power outage. They plugged into the vehicle and provided the power for the sound system, etc. And he tweeted about it and made some noise about it. This is the sort of thing we need to be doing more and more, letting people know we have tech out there that's better. Oh, not only that, it's cleaner too. Or this message, here's Texas during Winter Storm Uri, and there's sun runs home. In a sea of darkness, a single point of light. Well, that's something the world hadn't seen 5 or 10 years ago. Let's talk about that. Let's make a lot of noise about that. Electric buses. Okay, so this year, Proterra announced that in Beverly, Massachusetts, its electric school bus, Thomas built, is vehicle to grid capable using Proterra Nuvitech, and essentially it sent power to National Grid during the summer over 50 different events, delivering 3 megawatt hours. Well, you and I care about that, but the neighbor across the way doesn't. The houses I'm looking at there, they could care less whether or not that school bus delivered power to the grid. What they do care about is this: their children walking behind a school bus, diesel bus, emitting fumes, where the science shows that the shorter you are, the more you are exposed to passing exhaust. Now, here's something I can communicate to anybody with a child and say, I don't care whether that bus in Beverly provides power to the grid or not. I care whether or not my child coming home from and going to school every single day is breathing particulates or not. Is his life better or is it worse as a consequence of this new technology we're delivering to the world? These are the messages we need to get behind and amplify. Then, yeah, there are jobs, taxes, economic development, leasing payments to ranchers with wind turbines on their land or solar panels out there, and certainly school systems that are being paid for by renewables, and wages, investment, billions of it. In this case, combining solar and wind over the decade, $220 billion worth of total direct benefits. That's all critically important, and we should be talking about that. But let's also take that story and humanize it. Want to hover hundreds of feet in the air on average workday? Then being a wind technician may be just for you. Let's make this story something that the human imagination can seize, that mental Velcro that doesn't let go of our imagination, and explain to people why this is better, how this can make their lives better, not just in terms of the climate, but jobs, economic development, improvements in our daily existence. And so at the end of the day, I think the real critical thing we need to do, yes, it's important to talk to people about we need to avoid that Laurentian ice age scenario in the opposite direction where 2 or 3 degrees could cause tremendous human suffering and economic pain. But we also really need to reframe this, that we're not just running away from something, we're running towards something. In this case, a pan of brownies for us, something hopefully far deeper and more meaningful than that. The technology that has the capability to improve our lives on a daily basis so that when we vote at the ballot box and when we vote with our dollars, we're making decisions that ultimately benefit everybody. And we're telling all of humanity who make those votes on a daily basis why the things that we bring to the table are better for everybody. And with that, Mandy, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, PKD. That was really, really interesting. Appreciate that. And I didn't see any questions come through the chat, but what I can do is if you have some questions that, can you hear me okay, everyone? Can you hear me? If you think of questions that, come through as the awards program is going on, or if there are other things that you may ask, sorry, my background is doing funny things right now. Feel free to go ahead and add them to the chat. So with that, PKD, if it's okay, I'll go ahead and turn it back over to you to kick off the awards portion. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Can everyone see my screen okay?
Yep, I think we're good.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to mute myself and turn it back over to you. Thank you.
Well, thanks. Well, I'm excited to kick off the awards portion of the program and recognize the people and the brands who are making significant strides towards a cleaner and more secure energy future. You'll hear from three of us during the awards portion, myself, Randy, and Tom Weirich, who leads marketing and strategy for the distributed generation business unit of EDP Renewables North America. Tom also sits on the board, as Randy said. And as a reminder, the eligibility requirements to win the Cleanie Awards, the achievement must have taken place between January 1st, 2020 and June 20th of 2021. So the Woman of the Year, pretty important award. And in this case, the Woman of the Year goes to the female executive who demonstrates exceptional leadership, innovation, and mentorship in the clean energy industry. Not surprisingly, this year's gold winner is Abigail Ross Hopper, the president and CEO of the Solar Energy Industries Association, or SEIA. Abby's a bold, visionary leader. You hear from her all the time in press releases and out there in the world making a difference. She's helped professionalize the organization and make SEIA the leading association for the US solar industry. She's committed to breaking the glass ceiling, creating a diverse and engaged culture at SEIA. So Abby, congratulations. I'll now turn it over to Tom.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Peter, thank you so much. And Randy, as always, congratulations on yet another year down and another amazing selection of nominees. So continuing on kind of our plethora of awards here, here's one that's near and dear to my heart. Being part of EDPR's Diversity, Inclusion, and Equity Committee, this is something we're really proud of and something that the industry has really been making strides on. And so this year, we'd like to announce that the winner in regards to the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Champion is SEIA as the gold winner on the corporate level. So SEIA is an organization that obviously has taken this to heart and started a board level task force to address the challenges the industry faces when it comes to these issues. They, in addition, have engaged the industry and put together some forward-looking benchmarks to really help the industry move forward. So congratulations to SEIA. Okay, then moving on to the silver level winner. This year's silver winner is Renewables Forward. Renewables Forward created the DEI playbook, resource aimed at increasing diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workplace in the clean energy industry. Congrats, Renewables Forward. Okay, moving on to the bronze winner, we have Atlas Renewable Energy. As of July 2021, 40% of the company's employees at the corporate level are women, up from 11% when the company was founded in 2017. Also, Atlas is mobilizing its local contractors to prioritize the female workforce in the hiring process. Again, congratulations to Atlas Renewable Energy. So this year, we really did get a number of amazing companies, and we felt that it was important to also do honorable mentions. So this year's honorable mention in this category is Leyline Renewable Capital. In 2020, Leyline employees created the Leyline Addressing Racism Working Group to expand diversity and address inequity in the renewable energy industry and our broader society. We felt that this nomination was significant and wanted to make that honorable mention. So congratulations, Leyline Renewable Capital. Now coming up to an award we really were looking forward to honoring this year, and a good friend of mine, as well as an industry mentor and someone who creates inspiration every day. We received a number of nominations. This one was very hard for the judges. But this year's gold level winner in this category for individual is Catherine McLean, who's founder of Dylan Green. In both 2020 and 2021, Catherine and Dylan Green have been able to place more than 50% of women in clean energy roles, and over half of which were BOI/POC, LGBTQ, and other marginalized identities. Catherine, in addition, has gone out and created amazing podcasts and other things to really encourage the industry to think about these important topics and inaugurate and incorporate practices in our hiring environment. So congratulations, Catherine. And just a personal thanks to all you do from all of us. And PKD, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Great, thanks. And I'm actually super thrilled to be given the opportunity to talk about this one. I think Randy knows how near and dear storytelling is to my heart. And so I get to announce Best Media Outlet. The story is just so critical, and it continues to evolve every single day. And the Best Media Outlet Award recognizes the leading go-to sources for clean tech and climate industry news, the ones we turn to every single day in our inboxes and go, oh, there's going to be another cool story from these folks. So we turned the judging over to the public to see who came out on top. And I think it would be no surprise that this year's gold level winner is Canary Media. They came out after Green Tech Media closed up shop. A number of us, I think all of us in the industry, were going, what's going to happen with all these great reporters that had come together and been delivering this content year over year and opening our eyes to so many different things? And they reconstituted themselves. And in less than a year, Canary Media has become the leading energy and climate community, and is this year's People's Choice for Best Media Outlet, receiving nearly 45,000 public votes, more than 300% more than its closest competitor. And I would say to those of us in the industry, that's probably not a surprise. They do just such superb work. So congratulations to Canary Media. I'll now turn it back over to Randy.
Thank you, Peter. Following up on the Best Media Outlet Award, I'm excited to present the Journalist of the Year Award. So the Best Journalist Award spotlights leading industry storytellers, just as PKD was talking about. So journalists are among the hardest working individuals, playing a critical role in telling the important stories of the clean energy transition. We rely on up-to-the-minute reporting to keep us informed of the news that matters. And there is no short supply on in-depth and profile reporting of the many community members and innovation points. So I am very excited to present the gold winner for Journalist of the Year is Brian Eckhouse with Bloomberg. Brian is a reporter covering the clean energy transition at Bloomberg and Bloomberg Green. For anybody wanting to read more about climate tech and the energy industry, Brian has delivered some of the most compelling content of 2021. And again, we had such a high caliber of submissions in Journalist of the Year. So we are also recognizing a silver level winner. This year's silver winner is Jeff St. John of Canary Media. Again, our Best Media Outlet winner. So Jeff St. John, he's the editor-in-chief at Canary Media, as many of you, almost all of you probably know. His work is driven by an abiding faith in technology that can halt and reverse the worst effects of global warming. And a fascination with examining and explaining the economic, public policy, and social conditions that can foster the proliferation of or stand in the way of new technologies being used to the greatest benefit. So congrats, Jeff St. John. Up next is Podcaster of the Year. Many of you, I'm sure, listen to Clean Energy, Clean Tech podcast. So we felt very strongly, and our judges felt very, very strongly that this is an award that we should, bring to light and recognize the best podcaster. So podcasts have drastically risen in popularity over the last several years, with more than a third of Americans listening to at least one podcast per month. The Podcaster of the Year award recognizes producers who rock at creating compelling, informative audio that is driving the clean energy transition. So without further ado, this year's Podcaster of the Year is Stephen Lacey with Postscript Media. So Stephen has been the creative force behind many of the top podcasts about climate change and clean energy, from the Energy Gang to the Interchange. So congrats, Stephen. Up next is the Community Contributor of the Year. So the Community Contributor of the Year award category highlights individuals who contribute their expertise about climate change and clean energy solutions to community-driven platforms. Contributors go above and beyond to affect change and push for a more sustainable future for all. This year's Community Contributor of the Year award recipients is actually a group of individuals. So Stuart, Iman, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, I apologize if not, and David, who are contributors at Energy Central. So together, these individuals have written numerous original articles and are amongst the most read authors in Energy Central. They have published close to 100 articles on various news media outlets on practical application of technologies, organizational change, policies, and markets. So congratulations to our Community Contributor of the Year award recipients. And with that, I will turn it back over to Tom.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Randy, and congratulations again to all those individuals. So we're now going to move over and shift over to the Best Corporate Sustainability Program winners. The Best Corporate Sustainability Program Award is for corporate teams that enact impactful ESG programs that positively impact the health, safety, and wellness of the communities they serve. These companies emphasize growth and profitability through intentional business practices without compromising on people, the planet, and the economy. So without further ado, we're going to begin with our gold level winner. The anticipation, there we go. This year's gold level winner is Amazon. Amazon lowered their carbon intensity by 16% from 2019 to 2020. And in June 2020, Amazon launched the Climate Pledge Fund with an initial $2 billion in funding to help support visionary companies whose product and service solutions will facilitate this transition. So again, congrats, Amazon. Then we got a preview. So the silver winner for this category is Black & Veatch. This year's silver winner is Black & Veatch. In 2020, the company launched the Accelerate Zero campaign in anticipation of the release of the company's first ever sustainability pledge document, and is working to achieve or make significant progress by 2023. So again, our congratulations to Black & Veatch. So moving on to our bronze award winner, it's Resolute Forest Products. Resolute Forest Products achieved Scope 1 and Scope 2 absolute greenhouse gas emission reductions of 83.4% in 2020 compared to 2000 levels, with emission intensities down by nearly 56%. So congratulations again to Resolute Forest Products for those milestones. Again, we felt this year that there were a number of competitive nominations, and we felt that it was only right to do a few honorable mentions. So this year's honorable mention in this category goes to Pine Gate Renewables. The company donates $200 for every megawatt installed to fund the development and construction of solar-powered desalination and water purification plants around the globe. In 2021 alone, the contribution will allow more than 10,000 people annually to access clean drinking water in their communities. Thank you so much, Pine Gate, for being an inspiration to us all on that. And PKD, back to you.
Thank you, Tom. Now we'll give the award for college excellence. This award recognizes undergraduate and graduate level students at the individual and group levels who are making an impact in the clean energy economy through coursework, capstone research projects, and various competitions. And I think it goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. We don't get to where we need to go without a huge influx of new talent into this industry who see the electric power space as a really exciting place to grow their careers. So it's wonderful to see all these students engaged in these really fascinating, innovative activities. This year's College Excellence Award category is sponsored by Repowering Schools. And the gold level winner is Avery Taylor. She's a senior in energy engineering at Penn State University. And Avery was an integral member of Penn State's successful 2021 Collegiate Wind Competition team, which ultimately won first place in its category. So Avery, congratulations. We also had a silver award winner. There were two actually. Callie Chaplin and Megan Jennings were both 2021 graduates from James Madison University with majors in integrated science and technology. Callie and Megan helped lead the team in the 2021 Collegiate Wind Competition, which placed 4th out of 13 teams. So congratulations to Callie and Megan. And Tom, I'm going to hand it back over to you.
Fantastic. Thanks, Peter. Another category that's one of my favorites is Investment Leader of the Year. The Investment Leader of the Year award recognizes movers and shakers who invest in unique and noteworthy projects and technologies that benefit their respective organizations and the clean energy economy overall. This year, we have again, great nominations and congratulations to all. So this year's gold level winner is Full Cycle. In September 2020, Full Cycle became a signatory of the IFC-led Operating Principles for Impact Management, a critical framework for investors to ensure that impact considerations are explicitly integrated throughout the life cycle of any investment. Again, congratulations to Full Cycle. Now moving on to individual investment leader of the year. Really excited that it's this year it's Megan Schultz. Megan Schultz of Invenergy has overseen the execution of more than $25 billion in private equity investments, power plant acquisitions and sales, and project and tax equity financing. She's also been involved in the execution of over 22 gigawatts of new renewable energy and gas-fired generation projects. Also, as an add-on, she has been one of the individual champions within Invenergy on their ED&I efforts. So I want to give a special shout out to Megan for her efforts there. So again, congratulations, Megan. So the next award is called Keep the Power On. The Keep the Power On award recognizes utilities that are committed to ensuring energy capacity meets demand in communities across the nation. This award celebrates forward-thinking utilities who diversify their offerings to create sustainable communities that we can all be proud of. This year's gold winner is Conexus Energy. Perfect. The 2020 operations of Conexus Energy's unique megawatt class battery system and peak management systems performed flawlessly and safely, offsetting nearly $5 million from their wholesale power costs. So congratulations, Conexus, on that achievement. So turning it back to you, PKD.
All right, let's talk new tech. So we have an award for the pioneer in new technology. This award recognizes individuals and organizations who manufacture, design, engineer, and promote clean energy solutions. We received an overwhelming number of submissions for this award category, demonstrating how critical innovation is to our industry. This year's gold medal winner is FlexGen. FlexGen played an integral role in powering up Texas following the February 2021 winter storm Uri that caused such an enormous strain on the power grid and froze gas pipelines, leading millions to lose power. In all, 80 megawatts of power was put into the ERCOT market after the event, which means 40 to 50,000 customers were served with FlexGen battery power. Congratulations to FlexGen. Next, we're going to talk about the silver winner, Plug Power. Plug Power successfully launched its ProGen 125 kilowatt zero emission hydrogen engine in 2020. This engine expands Plug Power's market reach by supporting heavy-duty on- and off-road vehicle applications, including Class 6, 7, 8 trucks. Those are the 8s are the big ones, the semis, and transit buses and port applications. So congratulations to Plug Power. And the bronze medal winner, we've got one of those as well, is Schneider Electric. In late 2020, Schneider Electric introduced a compact smart electrical panel that connects to its energy app and empowers homeowners to manage their energy consumption and easily switch between power sources. So congratulations to Schneider Energy. And then finally, we've got an honorable mention. As we mentioned, there are so many technologies that were discussed during this in this category. So our honorable mention is Solve Energy. In 2021, Solve Energy launched Sunscreen 2.0, an evolution of their proprietary multi-platform application for desktop, iPad, and mobile that provides real-time project information about their utility solar job sites. Now back to Randy.
Sorry about that, I had myself muted. Thank you, PKD and Tom. So the Project of the Year award recognizes projects that add real results and value by creating sustainable communities through positive economic and environmental impact. An entire professional ecosystem delivers on projects from concept to construction and beyond. This ecosystem includes developers, investors, financial and legal experts to corporate buyers and many more critical partners. This year, again, we just like I keep saying this over and over, but we had an overwhelming number of submissions in the Project of the Year award category. So we're recognizing two of these names in the People's Choice and the Judge's Choice categories. So first up is our People's Choice winner. This year's People's Choice Gold winner is Ameresco, receiving nearly 15,000 votes, which is almost 40% more than the next competitor. Through their collaboration with Wells Fargo, Ameresco will implement nearly 100 PV arrays across 7 states and support Wells Fargo in its long-term sustainability goal to develop net new renewable energy sources and priority locations. Congratulations, Ameresco. This year's Judge's Choice Gold winner is Fluence, a Siemens and AES energy storage company. Their Alamitos battery energy storage system in Long Beach, California, is the world's first standalone energy storage project for local capacity. Fluence is helping customers bring nearly 1 gigawatt of energy storage onto the California grid in 2021 alone. So congratulations to our gold winner, Judge's Choice winner, Fluence. And now back to Tom.
Great, and I keep on saying this, each category gets better and better, but Rising Star for so many of us means a lot. As an industry that is striving for excellence in the next generation of entrepreneurs and leaders who are going to lead us to the next century worth of discoveries, these individuals all have worked hard and are young and mid-career professionals who show us exceptional leadership and desire to grow their career in this industry as we continue to evolve. So both these individuals I've worked with in the past, and I'm 100% in support of receiving this awards. And so last but not least, we're going to introduce these two winners. So for gold, under 40, and for many of us that are over 40, we hope there's going to be a under 50-year-old category, hopefully next year. But under 40, congratulations to Kevin Magaya, who's from CS Energy. Kevin runs business development at CS Energy, where he's a vice president. He's developed, designed, and installed over 230 megawatts of solar photovoltaic systems for over 40 projects across the US and internationally. So congratulations, Kevin, on this honor. Moving on to our under 30 category, we have Miles Braxton. Miles Braxton leads risk management for the Goldman Sachs Renewable Power Group. He has coordinated and negotiated insurance for about 730 megawatts DC of solar capacity and 740 megawatt hours of battery storage duration, including Project Slate, one of the largest solar plus storage projects in the country. Congratulations, Miles. So now back to you, PKD.
Thank you. And I have the honor of announcing the Trailblazer Award. This award spotlights mentors and champions that help younger professionals grow their careers. And this year's gold winner is Annika Colston. Annika's leadership, ambition, and resilience have not only allowed AC Power to thrive the challenges companies universally faced in 2020, don't we all know about that, but also adapt and thrive. Annika speaks at conferences to educate on the benefits of developing solar on previously developed properties, and also sets an example for females in a heavily male-dominated industry. Congratulations, Annika. Now to Randy to close out the awards.
Thank you, PKD. So the last award category that we are presenting is the Company of the Year category. The Company of the Year awards are given to companies that go above and beyond to make their mark in the clean energy economy. This year's winners are creating breakthrough innovation and growth across 4 different subcategories. Enterprise for companies with 1,000 or more employees, small to medium business, so those are for companies with 100 to 999 employees. Startup for companies demonstrating fast growth and successful market penetration in just 1 year. And the nonprofit subcategory, which is open to nonprofit companies of any size. So this year's gold winner in the enterprise category is DNV. In 2020, DNV engaged on the financings of 8.5 gigawatts of wind power and 5 gigawatts of solar power and 1 gigawatt of storage projects. Also in 2020, DNV advised on more than 50 gigawatts of renewable energy M&A transactions. That's incredible. Beyond independent engineering, DNV's Green Power Monitor monitors 40 gigawatts of solar and wind plants, approximately 15 gigawatts in the US. So congratulations to DNV. This year's silver winner in the enterprise subcategory is Blattner Company. In 2021, Blattner reached an industry milestone of 50,000 renewable energy megawatts. A pioneer in the industry, Blattner has advanced renewable energy with its innovation, collaborative approach, and delivery of certainty. Congratulations to Blattner. This year's bronze winner is Generac. In 2020, Generac entered the the virtual power plant VPP market by acquiring Enbala Power Networks, a creator of VPP and distributed energy resource management systems. Congratulations to our bronze winner. This year's honorable mention winner in the enterprise category is McCarthy Building Companies Incorporated. Over the course of the last year, the company continued to lead the clean energy space with innovative products and project designs, workforce development, and client management. In July 2021, Solar Power World, which we're all familiar with, ranked McCarthy 7th out of over 400 national solar contractors in the top 3 within 4 different states. So congratulations to our honorable mention winner. Up next is the small medium business subcategory. This year's gold winner is FlexGen, who we also recognized earlier in the program. So FlexGen, their projects have grown from under 100 megawatt hours in 2018 to over 100 megawatt hours in 2021. One of their partners, the Northeastern Rural Electric Membership Corporation, expects to save more than $35 million, that's sinking for a minute, over the next 20 years with the FlexGen battery storage system. So congratulations to FlexGen. This year's silver winner in the SMB subcategory is Pine Gate Renewables. In the past year, Pine Gate powered on 398 megawatts of projects in Michigan, North and South Carolina, and Oregon. This equates to, get ready for this, enough electricity for nearly 90,000 homes annually, 1.4 million barrels of oil consumed, and 546 million pounds of coal burned. Congratulations to Pine Gate Renewables. Our bronze winner in the SMB subcategory is Edison Energy. The company recently structured one of the first collared PPA transactions for a corporate buyer in risk mitigating structures, including revenue sharing, volume firming agreements, VFA, proxy generation settled agreements, and aggregation initiatives. Congratulations to Edison Energy. This year's honorable mention winner in the SMB category is World Energy. So every year, World Energy takes, this is a big number, a little bit more than 1 billion pounds of carbon out of the transportation sector, the equivalent of taking 104,000 cars off the road annually. They are increasing their capabilities to process feedstock, such as algae and used cooking oil, very cool, and they're integrating new technologies to reach their goals of cutting carbon by 85% or more. Congratulations to World Energy. Now moving on to our startup award category. This year's gold winner is Hela Technologies. In the past years, Hela raised a $3 million equity investment from Table Rock Infrastructure Partners, Massachusetts Clean Energy Center, Vicario Innovations, and additional private investors. And they earned a $1 million National Science Grant, an NSF grant, for their breakthrough energy and power optimization algorithms. So congratulations to Hela Technologies. And last but certainly not least, the gold winner in the nonprofit category is Clean Energy Leadership Institute. Over the last few years, CLI has developed exceptional programs to make a real difference for students, early career transitioning, and mid-career professionals. They are dedicated to DE&I initiatives, as evidenced by their internship program, which matches young people of color with internship opportunities in the energy industry. So congratulations to our gold winner, in the nonprofit category, CLI. Okay. And so that concludes our 2021 awards program. I know that a few people have been asking via chat. We will be sending a recording of the awards ceremony out via email. So once we get that downloaded and set up on our website, probably in the next few days, so keep an eye out for email. We'll also make a post on social media about that. Stay tuned for information on the 2022 program. We are hard at work finalizing the details, including the date that we're going to open applications. So stay tuned for more information, ideally, hopefully by the end of this year. In the meantime, you can always reach out to me, Randy at thecleanieawards.com. My information is also on our website if you have any questions. A huge thank you to PKD and Tom for helping me announce this year's winners. And again, one more thing before I forget. You can purchase awards on the website. So all gold level winners will be receiving a trophy from us in the mail. If you haven't already, please go ahead and email me your mailing address, the best mailing address to send those trophies to. And then silver, bronze, honorable mention, as well as finalists can order additional awards on the website. If you just go to thecleanieawards.com, go to virtual storefront. I think it actually says the store up in the nav menu. So click store and you can go ahead and order as many trophies as you want. The more the merrier. Stay tuned for 2022 information. Thank you, PKD and Tom, and congratulations again to this year's winners. When I met with the judges earlier this year to finalize the winners, they truly could not stop talking about just the caliber of submissions across all award categories. And they really did have their work cut out for them. There were quite a few discussions about, the finalists and the winners. So congratulations once again. And thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of the afternoon and a good rest of the week. Thank you.